Hi friends, welcome to Yoga with Wendy. Today's class will be a gentle, moderate vinyasa class. Today is May 10th, and I invite you all to find a nice, comfortable seated position. So maybe that means sitting on a block or a cushion or a blanket. Find something that supports you here to lengthen up through the crown as those sits bones begin to settle in. So take this opportunity to really find a nice, comfortable seat. And I want to remind you that this practice is your practice. So if I offer something that doesn't feel safe or even comfortable, just don't do it. Back out, do something different. Maybe just go to child pose and take a break. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, because that is the name of the game, taking care of yourself. And so once you've settled into your nice, comfortable seated position, I invite you to begin to just breathe with me. We'll inhale up, letting the gaze drift up, and exhale, letting your gaze drift down. Inhaling up, exhaling. And let's slow it down just a little bit. Next breath, very slow. And exhaling. With your next breath, as you lift and lengthen, we reach up through fingertips here. Let's stop here, drop the shoulders down the back body. Let your sits bones drop in even more here. Lengthening up through fingertips as we drop into the earth. We'll exhale over to the side, really dropping in to the right sits bones here. Breathing into the right side body. We inhale and drop over. Finding a little more space in that left side body. Left sits bone is dropping in. With your next breath, inhale up to the ceiling and we drop over into a twist here. So lengthening up through the crown with your in-breath, exhaling your way into a little bit of a twist. We'll drop the left shoulder down the back body. Once again, inhaling as you rise, exhaling as you twist. One more breath. Next breath carries you back up to the ceiling in the sky. We'll exhale over to the side, sitting tall, exhaling. Sitting tall with the breath and exhaling a little deeper. One more breath. And exhale. Right shoulder blade drops down the back. And coming to the front, let's begin to just find some space in the shoulders. So we're dropping a shoulder in and another shoulder. Dropping in and another shoulder. Rounding the back body. Drop in. We'll reverse direction here. One more time, drop in, round that body, and coming the other direction, begin to circle your torso like you're circling inside of a barrel. So we're finding a little extra space here. Reverse direction. Take this a couple times in each direction, actually. Once again, this way. I'm coming to center. Let's drop those sits bones once again as you lift through the crown. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, please do so. Otherwise, soften the gaze. Let yourself settle here. And take a moment to just notice what the body is informing you right now. Notice those places that need a little extra attention today. And from here, I invite you to come into what I call spinal breathing. This breath that comes from the earth. You bring it up from the tailbone all the way up the spine, up to the tip of the nose, and we exhale that breath right down the back body, right back into the earth. So inhaling and lifting and lengthening, exhaling and dropping that breath right into the earth. If you'd like to add Ujjayi or ocean sounding breath, please do so. That's the breath where you gently close off the back of the throat just a little bit. So every inhale and every exhale sounds a bit like a wave. And for your next 3 or 4 breaths, imagine what you would like to let go of with that exhalation. What can you drop into the earth, never to be seen of again? What makes sense to leave behind today? And for your next 3 or 4 breaths, what would you like to fill your body, mind, and spirit with? As you pull the breath from the earth, what would you like to fill your body with today? And after your next exhalation, come back to ordinary breathing. And with the eyes still closed or the gaze softened, we'll inhale the arms up overhead, palms come together and sink down in front of your heart. Take a moment here to set intentions for yourself. Or perhaps if intentions don't quite fit, then perhaps think about what you're grateful for today. And we'll seal those intentions or thoughts of gratitude with the single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. When you're ready, gently open the eyes, interlace the fingers, reach forward, reach up, stretching through one side and then the other. And from here, if you're sitting cross-legged, let's switch the legs up. Once again, we reach up, interlace those fingers, lengthening up to the sky. Exhaling, hands behind your back. Inhale up. Exhale, hands in front of you. Once more behind your back. Lift and lengthen here. And then one hand comes to the crown, the other one comes behind the back as you sit tall. Reach here, right up through the spine, up through the spine, up to the crown. We drop over into that bent elbow and bring a little bit of back and forth to the head and neck, releasing the jaw, the brow, the muscles of your face. Inhaling up. We'll switch hands. Lengthen up through the spine. We drop over. A little bit of back and forth. Jaw softens, letting go of any facial expression. Really letting go of anything you don't need right now. And coming back to center. If you're sitting on something, you can remove it. And let's come forward, coming right into all fours. And really start to explore the spine here. So we're curling, finding a barrel, wagging, breathing. Make it as messy, as creative as makes sense for you right now. Just really finding some space in the body. And begin to drop yourself into child pose and inhale forward. We'll drop the hips forward, heart opens, maybe the feet come up in the air and we drop them from side to side. And coming back, exhaling into your child pose. We'll inhale forward, feet come with you, and we drop them from side to side. Dropping once more again into your child pose. Settle in. Let's stay here for a few breaths. Bringing big toes together, knees apart, lengthening through the back body. Find some space in the shoulders. And with your next breath, we'll inhale up to all fours. And from here, go ahead and tuck your toes. Let's exhale into downward dog. And make this as creative as you like. We're finding space today, lots of space. So bending one knee and then the other, shifting the weight forward onto the into the shoulders and down into the hands. We'll drop back, bringing weight onto the toes. Make sure that you are paying attention to what your body is needing. And with the next breath, let's shift to plank. Land here for a nice long body, a long breath. Straightening and strengthening out through the soles of the feet, the crown of the head. One more breath. And come on down to the floor. We'll roll the shoulders back. Hands land right next to, right underneath your shoulders as you begin to find a cobra breath. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Elbows are reaching toward your feet as we lift and lengthen. Exhale back down. One more time. Inhale into your version of cobra. And we exhale and land. From here, taking yourself right back to a child pose, settle in. Forehead to the floor or to your fist. And with your next breath, inhale. Let's come forward again. Tuck those toes. Drop into downward dog. Finding space in the back body as you drop into those heels. And then walk your way forward, landing and standing forward bend. It's a great place for blocks if the floor feels particularly far away. We'll take a breath as the hands come up to the knees, shoulders drop down the back body. Exhale down, head drops, shoulders release. Find some space here and breathe into the back body. Breathe into your hamstrings. Notice where your body is needing attention and take the breath right there. And with your next breath, knees bend a little as hands come up to the knees, shoulders roll back, you lengthen through the back body. Exhale back down. And inhale all the way up. Hands come together and come to your heart. Beautiful. Let's take a moment to come to the front of your mat, if you're not already there, and begin to find our Tadasana or mountain pose. So feet want to land underneath your hips, toes are open, lively. We lengthen up through the crown. Bring the shoulders right up around the ears before dropping them down the back body. Take a moment to land here, palms gently open forward. And once you've arrived, begin to soften. Notice where you can soften here. Can you soften your eyebrows, your jaw, knees, your toes? And with the next breath, we inhale up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale, hands to the knees, coming to a flat back, dropping the shoulders down the back. Exhale down. Hands come to the floor. You may need to bend the knees a little. Great place to use blocks or books if you'd like. But we'll step back with the right foot, bringing that knee to the floor. From here, we climb our way up. And begin by inhaling, opening the heart, finding length right all the way up to the fingertips. Imagine a line, a beautiful gossamer thread from your fingertips all the way down to the toes of the right foot. Lengthening the front body, opening the heart. And then we open wide here and let's just give ourselves some hugs. We exhale, hug in. Inhale, open wide. Maybe switch the arms this time, hug. One more, and hug. And this time as you open your arms wide, shift the body forward, leaning forward to find what you might need and bring it right back to the heart. So from here we open wide, reach forward to gather in and bring it into the heart. One more time, opening wide, heart opens, bring it forward, right into the heart. And with your next breath, let's inhale up and open to a very short little warrior two. So left fingertips are forward, right fingers are back. We're lengthening up through the crown and relax the shoulders down the back body. With your next breath, inhale back, forward, and land. Inhale up and land. One more of those. Inhale up and land. Your wee little warrior two. From here, hands come behind the back, heart lifts. Exhale as you bow forward, finding A very small, humble warrior. Head is heavy. Hands lift. With your next breath, hands come to the hips. Heart opens and leads the way as you come up. We inhale all the way up. Hands come together to find the heart. We'll come into a little twist. Turning over to the left side, dropping the weight into this front knee that's right over the heel. Breathing into this twist. With your next breath, we inhale up. Exhale, hands to the floor. Let's take this front leg behind. So you're coming into, I need to move forward here, you're coming into either a sun dog or a balanced cat. Right arm is forward, left arm is behind, left leg is behind, sorry. We're reaching long from right fingertips all the way to left foot. Breathing, breathing. Exhale here. And with your next breath, inhale, reach back and find that foot lifting and opening, lengthening. And then we reach forward. Exhale. Next breath, inhale, lift, release. Next breath. This time we'll stay here for a couple of breaths, lifting and lengthening through this leg, opening the quads, the heart, the right shoulder. One more breath, and then reaching forward. Hand comes to the mat, and this leg finds its way over to the left side, toes in the air. Come into just a little bit of windshield wipering here. So we're moving this leg all the way up into the hip, finding space, finding movement, and eventually walk your way on up. We're standing strong on the right knee, and if the right knee needs some support, grab a blanket or double your mat over. Inhale up. Hands come together and exhale over that long leg. Inhale up. Exhale over. The right arm is right over the right ear. Inhale up. Hips want to stay forward here. There's a inclination to sort of twist into this. We're looking to keep you on this side plane, opening the right side body. Breathing here. We inhale. Exhaling. Hands to the floor. Leg comes in and settle yourself right back into child pose. One more breath. And with your next breath, inhale up to all fours. We'll tuck the toes. Exhale into downward dog. Arriving in your dog as you really bring the weight into the heels here. And from here we walk forward, coming right into standing forward bend. Inhale, hands up to the knees or the shins, coming to a long flat back. Exhale down. Let everything go. And with your next breath, with gently softened knees, inhale, sweeping your way up. Hands come together and find the heart. Let's try that on the other side. We'll inhale up. Exhale, come on down. Inhale to a flat back. Hands to the shins or the knees. We exhale down. We'll step back with the left foot, bringing that knee to the floor. Front knee stays over the front heel or a little bit in front of that front heel. Using the abs here, we lengthen up through fingertips, and again, find that gossamer thread connecting fingertips all the way back to the left toes. Heart opens forward. Breathing, relaxing the shoulders, lifting the heart. And then arms wide, open wide here. As you exhale, give yourself a hug. Inhale and open. Exhale. Big hug. One more. Heart opens and we exhale. Give a hug. For the next breath, arms open wide and then shift forward, hugging in exactly what you are needing right now. We inhale and reach forward to gather it in. One more time. What are you needing? What can you collect for yourself right here, bringing it into the heart? Take a moment to feel it. And then we open to our wee little warrior two here. Landing, shoulders land, lifting through the crown. With the next breath, we come back to our lunge. Inhale and open. Inhale and open. Let's do that one more time. And we come right back to our wee little warrior two. Hands behind the back, lift through the crown. Exhale and bow forward. Hands lift. Then from here, hands come to the hips as the heart leads the way, opening you back up, turning forward. We inhale forward, hands land at the heart, and come into a little twist. So turning to the right side here, we want to have the weight, the knee right over that foot. The gaze can be turned to the right or coming to the floor for a little more grounding. After your last exhalation, we inhale back up, exhaling hands to the floor. Let's take this front leg behind. So right leg is going to reach out behind. Left arm reaches forward, looking for a long, straight line from fingertips out through that right foot. Take a breath here and exhale. With your next breath, we inhale, grab that foot, lift and lengthen, and then reaching forward, a breath. Exhale. Next breath fills you. As you find your foot, lift and lengthen, and return. Take a breath, exhale. This time, as you inhale, we'll find that foot lift and lengthen, reaching right up to the sky here. Strong body supporting this quad stretch, shoulder opening. One more breath. And then returning to your balanced cat or sun dog. Hand comes to the floor. This leg comes over to the side. And we'll bring the toes in the air for a little bit of windshield wiping here. So just some getting deep into this hip. When you're ready, walk your way up. We're dropping right into this left leg. So we want a long straight line here. As you lift and lengthen, breathing all the way up. Hands come together, finding a little steeple here. And exhale over. Big, wide open left side body. Next breath carries you up. And we exhale. Inhaling up. And exhale. Taking yourself right back up. We'll exhale. Hands come to the floor, leg comes in. We'll bring those big toes together, knees a little bit apart, and settle into a child pose. Forehead to the floor, or to a fist, or to a block. It's important to have weight on the forehead. That tells your parasympathetic nervous system, or the nervous system that helps calm you. It tells that part of the nervous system to chill out, to settle down, to flood you with really awesome calming hormones. So have a little bit of weight on your forehead. And with your next breath, we inhale up. Let's scooch our way forward right onto the belly. Hands, let's actually bring the hands alongside the body here. We're lengthening out from the toes through the crown, and with your next breath, inhale the crown in the air. So we're inhaling up, rolling the shoulders down the back body. Exhale back down. One more of these. And if you'd like to lift the legs, you can lift legs. You can also lift the hands. So how much do you want to fly here? Lengthening out through fingertips. Legs are lifted. Crown is lifted. The front body is fully extended. And exhale, pigeon toe your feet. Turn your head to the side. Hands come under your head and take a breath. If your head is turned to one side, we'll turn it in the other direction. And coming back to center, hands come underneath the shoulders, toes tuck. We exhale into downward dog. And from this downward dog, walk your way forward, arriving in standing forward bend or Uttanasana. Take a breath as you lengthen through the back body. We'll exhale down. Softening the knees slightly. Inhale, make your way up. Come right down to the heart. Beautiful. So I invite you to come to the front of the mat. We'll be doing part of a Compassionate Vinyasa created by my friend Jurian at Kripalu. And so coming into your Tadasana or mountain pose, take a moment to arrive here. We're dropping shoulders down the back, lifting through the crown. Once you've found your mountain pose, what can you let go of? Where can you soften here? Is it the kneecaps? Is it your jaw? Can you soften the eyes? And we begin by inhaling the arms up and exhaling into Utkatasana or chair pose. Next breath carries you up and into a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, Utkatasana. Inhale up. And one more. We exhale into Utkatasana. Inhale up. This time as you drop into your chair pose, let's stop here for a couple of breaths. We're lengthening out through fingertips, tucking that tailbone just a little here. And I'm no longer mirroring you. I'll bring my left hand to the floor and inhale up with the right arm, stacking shoulder over shoulder here. Lengthening as my strong legs support me. Breathing into this twist. Inhale back to your chair pose. And from here, hands come to the floor as you step straight back with the right leg. And so if landing on that foot straight back, like on railroad tracks, doesn't work for you, feel free to drop it at a 45-degree angle. Either way, make your way up to this high lunge or warrior one. The front knee is over the heel. Shoulders drop down the back, tailbone tucks. Heart opens as fingertips lift and lengthen here. And we begin by settling in a little deeper, lengthening out through that back heel, lifting through the heart. And then let's start to gather. So we bring it in. What are you needing today? Bring it right into the heart. One more time. Gather it in. Landing, breathing, holding on to it. And with your next breath, open into warrior two. The gaze is gently over the left fingertips here. We'll settle the shoulders down the back body. Lift through the crown. And with your next three breaths, we straighten the front leg. Inhale, hands up over the heart. And bring it to the heart. Inhaling back to warrior two. Gaze goes over the left fingertips. Inhale up and drop it in. Inhale, land. Inhale, drop it in. This time as you come to warrior two, settle yourself in here. Shoulders really drop. We're lifting through the crown. Hands eventually come behind the back as the heart opens. Take a breath. Exhale, coming into a humble warrior. Hands lifted to the sky. Dropping into both feet here, noticing your connection with the earth. One more breath here. And then hands come to your hips as the heart leads the way, lifting the head, releasing you back into warrior two. And from here, we inhale up, turning back to our high lunge or warrior one. And from here, we'll pivot that back foot. Exhale, right hand comes to the floor. Left hand lifts. Gaze is over to the left. Shoulders are stacked over each other as you lift and lengthen through the left fingertips. We'll exhale that left hand to the floor and step back to downward dog. So arriving in your dog, nice strong back body here, dropping the weight into the heels. And from here we'll shift to plank and back to downward dog. Let's shift to plank and back to downward dog. Knowing that your knees can come to the floor at any point, we shift to plank. Let's hold this one for 2 breaths. And from here, knees can come to the floor or you can lower yourself all the way down. Hands are magically in right where they need to be to prepare for our cobra. Taking a breath here, finding your cobra, exhaling down. Inhale right back up, lifting and lengthening. One more. And we exhale. With the next breath, take yourself back to a child pose. Settle in. Lengthening the back body with each breath. Dropping the weight into the heels. The hips are right over the heels, so you're dropping right in. Land yourself here. And with the next breath, we inhale up to all fours. Exhale into downward dog. And walk forward. Arriving in standing forward bend or Uttanasana, we'll inhale up to a flat back. Exhale down. Softening the knees just a little bit. Inhale. Hands come together and find the heart. Let's try that on the other side. So I invite you to come back to the front of your mat. And so once again, we're landing in mountain pose. Take as much time as you need to land on both feet here, noticing the connection with the floor and the earth. We lift and lengthen through the crown. Shoulders drop down the back body. And take a moment to notice if you need to move from side to side, forward to back. Where is your place of habit? And what might be an okay place to shift to? Are you looking to shift? Are you looking to find a different balance? Palms eventually open forward as those shoulders drop down the back body. And with the next breath, let's inhale up. Lengthening up through fingertips, you drop the shoulders down the back body. We'll exhale into Utkatasana or chair pose. Inhale, lift, a little back bend. Hips are forward. Exhale. One more time. We lift and lengthen. Exhale right down into your chair pose. And let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Tucking the tailbone, lengthening through the back body. We'll exhale the right hand to the floor. Lift and lengthen through the left fingertips here. Breathing. Beautiful twist to shake everything up. One more breath. And then inhaling back to our Utkatasana. We exhale, hands to the floor. We'll step back with the left foot, taking that foot again straight back or landing at a 45-degree angle. And from here, walk your way up to a high lunge. Front knee is over the heel or a little forward of that. Lengthening up through fingertips here. Allow the tailbone to drop as the heart lifts. The shoulders relax and release. Take a moment here as you reach back through the left heel to notice where you can soften. What can you let go of? And for our next 3 breaths, we reach forward and gather in. Arms open wide, we reach forward and gather in. Let's try one more time. Inhaling. What do you need right now? Let's hold on to that. And then pivoting that back foot to a 45-degree angle. We'll come to Warrior 2. Take a moment to arrive here, finding that perfect center place as arms reach out. Gaze is gently over your right fingertips. And for our next 3 breaths, we'll straighten that leg and gather into the heart. Inhale, open, and gather into the heart. One more. Inhaling, we reach out, straighten the front leg, and gather into the heart. And with this next breath, as you land in Warrior 2, let go of those shoulders. Release the jaw, lengthen up through the crown. Hands eventually come behind the back. Shoulders drop back. Exhale forward, finding this beautiful humble warrior. Where can you soften even here? And to come out, hands come to the hips. Heart leads the way as you lift and lengthen, coming right back to warrior two. Let's inhale up, pivot that back foot, tailbone drops. Left hand comes to the mat as the right arm lifts. We stack shoulder over shoulder and gaze goes over to the right side as you straighten that strong back left leg, reaching out through the left heel, lifting and lengthening through the right fingertips. Exhaling that hand to the floor. Just step back to downward dog, dropping in. Take a moment to find those heels, connect with the earth, breathe into the body, and notice where you are connecting with the earth. With the next breath, let's take one leg in the air. Doesn't matter which one we lift and lengthen here. Dropping into the standing heel. And then consider bending that knee, opening the hip, and peeking over your opposite shoulder. So this is my left foot, and I'm peeking over my right shoulder to find my toes. And then I inhale, straighten, square that hip off to the front. That foot lands. Right leg lifts. And lengthen up through, from fingertips all the way up through my toes. And consider bending that knee, peeking over, in my case, my left shoulder, looking at my toes. Straightening, we square off to the front. That foot comes to the floor. Knees come down and settle right back into child pose. Make this a really gentle, restorative child pose, rounding the back body, settling in, perhaps bringing your arms alongside the body. One more breath here. And with your next breath, we'll inhale up. And let's bring the hands, let's come to all fours and take a hand step forward. Drop those hips forward and come into a supported upward dog here. Crown lifts. We're breathing into this as the shoulders drop down the back body. Heart opens. Let's tuck the toes. Exhale into downward dog. And walk your way forward. Coming right into standing forward bend. We inhale up to a flat back. Exhale down. And then softening the knees, we'll just uncurl from here. Lengthening all the way up. Hands find each other and come to the heart. Nice work. Take a drink if you need one. So I'm debating what to do next, but I think what we all could probably use is a fish. So come on down onto your mat. We'll just come to all fours. And let's begin by bringing this right knee forward, landing that right knee under your right shoulder, scooching back through the left leg. Take all the time you need here to just scooch your way into position, maybe finding a block or a blanket to support the right hip as you lift and lengthen into this king pigeon, shoulders dropping down back, heart still forward. before exhaling and landing in your sleeping pigeon. So many opportunities in this sleeping pigeon to release, to soften, to notice. You want to engage the right foot just a bit so you're protecting your knee. One more breath here. And with your next breath, hands come under the shoulders, supporting you back to King Pigeon. We'll drop over onto that right hip and bring this left leg either all the way around to land over here, or it can land kind of in a cross-legged position. If you've landed over here, we'll plant that foot on the floor, dropping into both sits bones, perhaps moving a little butt flesh out of the way. And if you've landed here, same goes. Move a little butt flesh out of the way, sit nice and tall. And we'll use the left knee as a support while you lift here. Breathing into the back body, breathing into the front body. Open this door over to the left. Hand lands, right arm hugs the knee in. And if you're here in this, we'll just use this to just kind of land on. We sit tall. Exhale, opening into the twist. One more breath here. And coming back to center. Let's untwist. Do we want to untwist or do we want to? We might want to, let's untwist. There's a fun way to untwist, and if you know it, go ahead and just untwist yourself. So you would turn all the way around and land in the other twist. And if you have done that or not, we're still going to go to pigeon first. So we want to start with the left knee forward. Right leg is reaching back. We're setting ourselves up here for King Pigeon, lengthening up through the crown. Engaging the left foot, take a breath, and exhale into your sleeping pigeon. Using whatever props might make sense for you, settling in, softening the jaw. One more breath here. And then inhaling up, lengthening up into King Pigeon. We'll drop over to the left hip. Sweep this right leg around to land or to land on top. Move some butt flesh out of the way so you're really finding the sits bones and connecting with the earth here. Sit nice and tall. Shoulders drop down the back body. We breathe here, and then as this door opens to the right, hand lands behind, sit tall and exhale into your twist. Inhaling back to center. We'll untangle legs, shake them out. And I invite you to take the next minute or so in whatever inversion makes sense for your body. So that may be a half shoulder stand, maybe just legs in the air, maybe legs on, or rather hips on a block. Find what makes sense for your body. And we'll take about a minute here. If you're doing half shoulder stand, We want to scooch the elbows right underneath the hips. The toes land right over your eyebrows. And there's ever so much you can do here to play, to find a little more space. Keep breathing wherever you are. And begin to make your way to the floor. So removing your block or rolling down. Bring the knees in for a hug, a little bit of gentle rocking. And we'll begin by dropping the knees over to the right, arms open wide. Breathing into that left side body. Next breath carries the knees up to center and we'll drop them over to the left. Nice deep breath into the right side body. And then inhaling back to center. I invite you to make yourself comfortable in Shavasana. So finding whatever you're needing, maybe a blanket, maybe a jacket or shirt, maybe even a pillow. Take your time and settle yourself in as the jaw softens. The muscles of the face soften. Noticing the muscles of the back body and the legs are settling into the earth. Imagine inhaling in through the left foot and exhaling out through the right foot. Imagine inhaling in through the left hip and exhaling out through the right hip. Imagine inhaling in through your left fingertips and exhaling out through the right fingertips. Imagine inhaling in through the crown of your head and exhaling out through the soles of your feet. Ramadasa sa se soham. 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 It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled from the peaks of the mountains, the long, winding road crossing forests and villages. And in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean. And so very gently begin to take a few deep breaths. And bring a little movement into your body. As you're ready, knees can come in for that final hug. And drop over to your side to take a breath or two before making your way up to a seated position. And once you arrive here, let yourself really drop into those sits bones as you lengthen up through the crown. If you're comfortable closing the eyes, please do so. Otherwise, soften your gaze. And with your next breath, we inhale, arms up overhead. Palms come together and sink down in front of your heart. Take a moment here to think back to the intentions or the gratitude you thought about earlier. And also take a moment here to thank yourself for coming to this practice, giving this practice to yourself. We'll end class today with a single sound of Om after an inhale. Inhale. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much, friends.